Hey, how's everybody doing? Are you ready for the new year? Oh, are you guys ready for the New Year's? I'm going to church in a bit. Uh, did Chris jump on here? So I want to talk about briefly about Jake Claver, the war. Zach Rector. These are all two big people that I respect. But you see, I think a couple of things. There's a lot of people who don't like Jake Claver because they believe that his claims are outlandish. Secondly, some people feel that he's not giving everybody, equal dibs. Like, if you don't have 50,000 XRP and above, he only cares about the rich. And they're upset about it. Listen, guys, Jay Claver is a business guy. He's an entrepreneur. He's very smart. And I want to tell you this. If you've been in XRP for at least 5 years, 3 years to 5 years, even 1 year, doesn't matter. You could be in it for 6 months. It depends on the amount of time you put into research. One of my first crypto I bought was XRP, and I bought it for $1.06. I almost cried when the thing went down all the way to about 33 cents, 33 cents. I later learned about dollar cost averaging, and I began to dollar cost average. Let me say this: whether Jake Claver's prediction comes true or not, $100 before by New Year's in North America, because he's using his own time, and it doesn't really matter. Why? Because if you've done your research, the fundamentals of the asset has not changed. Now, Zach Rector gets into all this conversation about how Jake has been in court. No, I don't think he mentioned that. I didn't watch the whole thing, but what what really just struck me was, again, I believe Zach is very honest. Is Jake Claver a fraudster? We'll wait to see. The thing is this, right? The system he's created and offered 14% return to XRP holders. Uh, I've researched to see what he's doing and all that, but Jake has been involved and engaged. If you hold DAG, I have DAG. I'm not going to show you this, but I have DAG, and when in DAG, Jake Claver is one of the his company, Digital Ascension Group. He does everything in the name of his company. There's so many things people have benefited from Jake Claver. Okay, so he's one of the validators on, he runs a node on the DAG mainnet, right? And let me see, what does he have? So this is Jake Claver's. Let's see what he has on here. Let's see. Hold on a second. So he's Digital Ascension Group. Where are they now? Come on, guys. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you hiding? So Digital Ascension, he's got 13.39 million DAG under management with a 5% validator commission. All right. I'm actually staking with Jake Claver on there. Do you know how long people have been engaged in DAG? I've known about DAG for years. There's a training video on my Patreon. You can join my Patreon. Do you know with DAG you can get 12 to 13%? And what do you earn? You earn DAG back. I've told you DAG has a contract with the military, the Air Force, and they have an amazing system. Well, you need 21 days to unstake if you're with DAG. But do you see what I'm saying? If you had $1 million a day, hey, Tommy, when Toyota, when King Air, ER60. Exactly, Security Plus Hub. I didn't really think, I like both of them. I like both guys, and I think they're both honest men. Many people have lawsuits that if you were to check their history, you'll see maybe somebody has sued them over business, over this and that. That doesn't make them a criminal. That doesn't make them a fraudster. But the point here is that you should be learning as much about this space. For the people who are angry and feeding into what Zach Rector said about people, Jake Claver deceiving people. I saw something where XRP 2 was talking about that, and a lot of other people, like you shouldn't have said this. See, the guy put a bet, $20,000 bet, or 20,000 something, was it dollars or something, bet out there. So he's going to lose money if it doesn't happen. And that, to me, that's fair and square. He said based on what he knows. So here's what I believe that Jake Claver is onto. His timing may be wrong, but that $100 is going to happen for sure. People are like, oh, the naysayers say it's never going to happen. Just like they said at 30 cents, XRP will never get to $1. It got to $1. Zoom Pass got to $3 and came back to where it is. I have been saying I was hoping for a $27 XRP by the end of this year. And here's where I was looking, what I was looking for. I was looking for regulation. I was looking for some adoption. And here is what I believe Jay Claver has seen. Besides hearing the people behind the scenes in BlackRock and all of these places and JP Morgan and the partnerships that is going on, that are going on, I have seen documents way back in the day, which I did not realize I should have kept screenshots of those documents, but they're now no longer available. Well, Europe already decided how much they were going to pay. I saw one where it was $900 billion. Like, if it's $900 billion that is moving through, this is how much the value would be, and we're fine with it. But you know, I don't. I had no YouTube channel. I didn't know that I would have a YouTube channel. I didn't care to have a YouTube channel. Now I'm 1 year in and change, 1 year and 1 month. So, what are you doing to develop your knowledge in this space? I was going to delay this live until after New Year's, but I thought, no, let me get on here. I've got a few more hours. Let this be the last video that I make, the last live before the year ends. I've done more lives than videos in the last couple of weeks or months. What are you doing to learn this space? What are you doing? While I'm here right now, I have this thing on. It's making me some money. Do you know that for those of you who have good money right now, your $1 million can earn you 13% on this platform right now? It's on my Patreon. Go learn how to use it. You have $100,000 and it's sitting down there. The dollar is losing value by the day, where people are fighting about whether Zach Rector or Jay Claver or who is on whose side. Forget about all that stuff. We have to do buyer beware. Haven't people heard about that? Like, if somebody's so upset, you know, this is just the delegated staking on the DAG mainnet. And look at someone like the Upsider. Let's look at the Upsider. Look at what the Upsider is. Look at what you get for staking with the Upsider. So he's got he's got like 3 or 4 of them on here. Okay, I was gonna sorry. I would have to go into my own account, and I don't want to do that except if we're in a more private setting. This is too public for me to show you that. But what I'm saying is, I'm seeing, you know, rewards for DAG if I choose to on stake with a 21 days cooling off. I would have DAG, which I can sell if I wanted, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just stacking it, receiving it, and stacking. I have a job. I have things I'm doing that I'm earning income on, so I don't need that. But I'm saying, somebody, hey Chris, good to see you on here. Hey Tommy, hey Sterling Silver. How much money did he make in the hype? Well, I didn't give him any money. When you talk about hype, this is all like, I'm not upset about it. I don't really care about it because I have my own path. If he was a downright, you know, like he made his prediction based on what he believes. It's like when I said that I believe XRP to get to a $27 at the end of the year. That's my expectation. In his own case, he made a bet, and the bet was like worth 20 grand, something of that sort. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say Jake the Snake avoid. Like, those who are doing business with him, they've gotten some reward. You know, Zach has his concerns, and he's expressed it. Like, I'm not doing anything with Jake Claver. All I'm saying is that, what are people doing right now to learn what they need to learn to prepare themselves? You should be thinking about being your own bank. You should be thinking of being your own bank. That's it. Rather than like, awesome. That's good of you, Sally. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. We don't need credit from day one. Jake said not financial. Exactly. He said not financial advice. I don't know. Like, to me, when you look at how Jake Claver came suddenly on the scene and became very successful, and, you know, he's got all these following, it's not, he's been doing what he was doing, but suddenly blew up. And I think Zach had given him a platform. He came on and interviewed him and all of that. And the truth of the matter is that we're all here. Yeah, 2026 would be a great year. Chef Ike, yes. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Hello from Germany. Happy New Year. Hey, Danny Yader, how you doing? How you doing? God bless you. Zach Rector needs to leave. Jake alone, exactly. Hey, Ezekiel, how you doing? Oh, great evening. Um, so if you want to learn crypto slowly, follow my Patreon, join my Patreon. I have stuff that I can show you. You can be making even I've shown you guys this also. I've said to you, you can do a lot on here. Like look at this platform. Like these are the two that I've put out right now, and then I've talked about the Zaman wallet as well. And some of you are already on the Metal X lending platform. Like you are getting rewards live, 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 live. You can get 7%, 8%, 9%, sometimes up to 12%. One day I woke up in the morning and I saw that Tether on this platform was issuing. They had a reward with a loan of all the way to it was like 100%, and then it dropped over a 3-day period. It dropped, drop, drop, drop. So this is the Metal X lending platform. You can do this. Let your money make money for you. Hey Daniel, thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate it. You know, no, yeah, exactly. It has a long way to go. We're not giving up hope. I'm just here encouraging people because there's a lot of word out there, a lot of conversation. I thought I'll just do this live before I go to church. We have a service and we usually pray into the new year. And yeah, so I'm also streaming on X. On X, I'm AHEZ68. That's how you find me on there. I'm going to try to use my X a bit more. I don't do much on there. You know how it is. Sometimes some people have more following on YouTube. You don't really care about X. I've been on X for a while, but I only use it to read, follow, make comments, and all that. But never really thought I should put my content on there. So, but when I stream live now, I'm also streaming on X at the same time simultaneously. XRP will be 1K. Just wait. Stop following the whole team. Okay, hit the like button, guys. Yes. How many likes do we have so far? Let's see. Please, guys, like. By liking, you help the video. You help the channel, honestly. Just like. Did anyone see that BNB Tiger dropped 40% today? No, I was not watching it. Well, you could scoop up some more if I were you, right? What are you waiting for? Zach told you to buy SFGs and they both may live in glass houses. well, Zebek made money for some people though, right? So I believe so. Because I've not heard Jake Claver say anything, but if you are listening to either of those guys, what research have you done? Don't I saw a video today of a man who lost $1.6 million, 52-year-old engineer who lost $1.5 million on a dating site because 1.6 million worth of crypto because he believed that he was investing. Somebody was guiding him on the dating site. How do you go on a dating site for advice for again? I feel bad for him, but that's the reality of what's going on. People are emotional and they take their emotion and bring it into this crypto space. You can't do that. If you want to do that, that's more than good for you. You swing and you make good money. Like I'm still up with my WikiCat, right? Because I invested in WikiCat. I was a little earlier than most, so and I took some profit, and that's good. That I don't see what's wrong with that. You got to make what decisions that are right for you, and look at with BNB Tiger. Then it comes back up again, and you take your. I mean, you see it happening. Are you on Pancake Swap or where are you? On MetaMask or Johnny Craig? Where are you? MetaMask? Exactly. I made money with Zebek and sold into XRP. That's Daniel saying that. And we're all different. We all have different goals. We're all going to approach this differently. And there's room. It's a massive environment. This is why I'm talking about DeFi. People should get into DeFi. DeFi will save you a lot of pain, right? Because you get in there and yeah, it's You get into DeFi, you learn DeFi, and you start using it to make progress for yourself and your family. You know, and the earlier you learn it, the better, because then you are ahead already. As changes come, you're adapting, and you're growing your rewards, stacking up on rewards, easily convertible to dollar, to the US or whatever currency you want to, right? So okay. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I prefer MetaMask to Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet has had a lot of issues. I'm telling you. I don't even know when I last opened my own Trust Wallet. I don't leave anything on there. And with MetaMask, you could also, Johnny, hey, hello, my life. One thing you could do with your MetaMask is you could use a ledger to create a multi-sig environment there. So this way, there's at least it's like 2 to 3 steps before you can move anything. I know it may be a little concerning, but for some people, they want the ease. But it depends on what you have on there. If you have greater value stored on MetaMask, you probably want to do that. For those of you may be wondering what that is all about, I think I'm going to do a video in January about that, and just save it on so you can turn your hot wallets, certain hot wallets, into. It's very easy to do, but some people need guidance, right? So make sure that you're signing with a hardware piece like this one. Okay, can you see? So that's a ledger. There's the Keystone wallet. There's also the Evernode, which is about $500 for the cheapest one of them. So, no, Trust Wallet is bad. Buy things on it and send to co-work, or don't use it at all. Yeah, I rarely ever touch it. Yeah. Are you talking about me, my life, or what? Yeah, I love the evening lives. It's just, yeah. Are you talking about like the old days when I started out? Is that what you're talking about? Treat Trust Wallet like a public restroom. Actually, Jay Claver says that. And one thing I want to say about Jay Claver is that he's done all the good for people in teaching them so many things. Like if you're a member of his mastermind group, people come out of there saying they've learned a lot of stuff that they didn't know before. And he sure makes a lot of money on fees. There's no doubt about it. The guy is already set, financially. As long as he invests wisely, he's good. I just showed you his node on DAG mainnet. He's there, and I'm staking with him as well as with the other gentleman. What's he called? The Upside AI. So I'm with the Upside AI pays more commission than Jake, but I did some with Jake, and I did some with the Upside commission, just out of like, okay, this is Jake. Let me stay with Jake and all of that. And how many of you want me to do more Bible teachings? How many of you would like to see more Bible-based conversations? My Patreon really is going to involve all of that: Bible, prophetic words, teachings, expositions, and of course, cryptocurrency and general sound advice and the wisdom that God gives me. I will share it with you guys on there. So follow the Patreon, join me on there, and let's go on an adventure together. Treat Trust Wallet like, okay, I read that already. Okay, my life. Yes, my life is one of my OGs. She's been on this for a long time. James things wrong so far. What's your opinion? What's my opinion? That's what I'm telling you. If you just joined, that's what I'm saying, that it doesn't really matter. I'm indifferent to it. I'm indifferent. The people who are so angry about his predictions are those who, number one, they didn't do the buyer beware thing. Number two, he said it was not financial advice. Number three, he said there are factors that we have to look at. And remember, those factors includes laws and so many other things in place. But there's one, I don't know if he's talking about this to you guys, or if you've heard him say this, because he kept saying factors. And I think he has non-disclosures too. There's things he can't say in public, because he's never censored on YouTube. He has people behind him, big people behind him, right? Big organizations behind him, partnerships that you couldn't even believe. And I don't expect you to give everything to if you have 50,000 XRP, I wouldn't say go give everything to him, or 100,000. Keep some somewhere. But most people don't even have that much. To get 10,000 XRP now, you're looking at 18 grand. How much is XRP right now? So my opinion, my thing is, For personally, for me, it never really mattered. I wasn't looking up to $100 from Jake Claver. I was looking at 27, and if it hit 100, good. I will enjoy it. And there's nothing wrong with setting a buy limit order, just in a sell limit order, just in case it happens. Be prepared either way, for it to go up, for it to go down. Be prepared either way. He talked about oil prices, conditions, and all. In fact, the laws were not the big ones for him. Thank you for reminding me that. That's the biggest one for him was the oil prices and all of that stuff. Look at what was happening in Iran. That might a lot of stuff. And people were like, "Oh man, Jake Claver seems to right." And the funny thing, when you go on the thread, you see people saying things like, "Jake, you've taught me a lot. I'm not abandoning you," because you know what they're realizing. They bought this for the long term, not for the end of 2025. Anybody selling because Jake was wrong and they sell their XRP and walk away, I'm sorry for you. You're going to miss out. No doubt about it. And so I think the attacks are too many. That's my personal opinion. I think it's unnecessary. I think it's emotional. I think, again, if people have been deceived by Jake, I feel bad for them. And I also feel bad that Jake would have deceived anybody. But I don't think he did it deliberately, because if you listen to him, he talked about what he believed. He talked about why he thought he would get. And I did a video where I shared with you was that pseudonym from way back then, where he predicted that Bitcoin would get to $100,000 by the end of that year, and it did not. But it did get to $100,000 and above at the end of 2024. So he was a couple of years behind, but he saw it, and he saw how it was likely to happen. And that's what I believe also has happened for Jake Claver. And it doesn't happen, no problem at all. So let me just share this with you. What I was thinking, I was talking to Kryptonite earlier, and I said this, that a lot of people are behaving in their anger against Jake Claver. They are like, how somebody said Jesus was coming, and he didn't show up, and in September this year that he was definitely going to come. And in Ghana, there was a man who built an ark, and people were running into the ark for protection. How silly is that? Even if the end of the world comes and meets you where you are, is it in that ark, that silly ark, that you'll be protected? There's 20-something million people living in Ghana now, but people went with that. Now, some people are going to be angry and it didn't happen, and they're going, "I'm never going to church again." No, they said that because they've always wanted to not go to church. They had lost their faith long before the false prophet came along. So maybe people have lost their faith in a product or a commodity that they hold before someone came and made a mistake or called it something and missed the time. That's what I would say. Yes, that's what I see my life. He has knowledge, he's got skill, he has understanding. But you know what I say? That prediction is for the future. It'll happen because certain things have to line up for everything to come to pass, right? And why do people treat Jake like Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson? And by the way, even Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson, he's told you, Brad Garlinghouse said, when the system matures and the market matures, then you just flip the switch. He said that. And that's where the flip of the switch came from. It came from Brad Garlinghouse's mouth. And 24-hour crypto always uses it for his closing. Flip the switch. He always uses that, right? So for his closing on his videos. No, I like your take, my life. I really appreciate what you're saying there. Any questions for me tonight before I go? So, yeah, BNB Tiger OG down 37.38%. Well, load up. Load up, load up, load up. I'm not watching things. I'm far too busy. I hope I can watch things the way I should, but this is why it's good for you to have a few crypto that you focus on rather than have a lot spread all over the place. Did I show you guys where so I'll show you something in a bit. Just give me 1 second here. I'm just pulling out something here. Okay, so watch here. Okay, let me share this with you just to show you. You have some questions. I'm coming. Let me just show you this. Okay. So here's some of the things. Look, this is on May 28, 2025. These are some of the news people miss, right? But it's all there. Blockchain land record management firm Balcony has signed a 5-year deal with officials in New Jersey's Bergen County to tokenize 370,000 property deeds on chain. Watch this. New Jersey County to tokenize 240 billion property deeds. This is just Bergen County. All right. Can you imagine all of these counties across the United States tokenizing property? Do you know how many trillion dollars, even if the most populous counties decide to do this? Watch this. A New Jersey county is set to tokenize 240 billion worth of property deeds after signing a deal with the blockchain-backed land record management firm Balcony. Balcony said on May 28th that it signed a 5-year deal with the Bergen County's clerk office to tokenize 370K deeds on the Avalanche blockchain, adding that this was the largest blockchain-based deed tokenization project in U.S. history. Bergen County is New Jersey's most populous county and is located northwest of Manhattan in New York City across the Hudson River. Bergen County has nearly 1 million residents, producing around 500 million in annual property tax revenue. Well, when they put it on when they put it on chain, guess what happens? When they put it on chain, the cost of managing will reduce. Tax collection will become digital. That's when they take Bitcoin. That's when they take USDC. That's when they take all of these monies, and then everybody who was not interested becomes interested in crypto. I can show you in McAllen, Texas as well. I've been telling you these things. McAllen, Texas. Let me just show you this one also. I didn't plan to do this one, but I have a video coming out so in McAllen, Texas, okay? Here, this is Solana telling you what they've done. Watch this. Case study, Homebase is changing real estate investment with Solana, all right? Homebase leverages the Solana blockchain. Remember I told you I saw Solana in a vision. The Lord had showed me it at $3,800, and Kryptonite saw it at $4,200. And again, we don't know where it stops. It may get to 10,000. I don't know. Successfully tokenized a 235,000 single-family rental property in South Texas in March 2023. The platform raised 246,000 in just 2 weeks from 38 investors through the sale of NFTs tied to the physical real estate asset. The home-based model is meant to broaden participation in real estate investments. Of Homebase's 76 total investors between both homes, roughly 78% are non-institutional. There was a minimum. So the institutions are testing. This is why I've told people that when this is way back in 2023, when the price of this thing will rise, it'll shoot up to the surprise of many. A lot of people don't like this stuff. You know why? It's too much work. They just want their assets to just increase in value. And they're going to do what the rich do not do. They're going to sell their assets because they don't have long-term mindset. They just want to sell, have a lot of money. A lot of people think $1 million is a lot of money. They think 5 million is a lot of money. They just, if I can get this, I will sell it and I don't have anything to worry about ever in my life again. No, it's easier to get it than to keep it. Keeping it is where the work is. And that's why you have to be part of a community that is learning and preparing themselves to keep what is coming. All this is happening. So 77% of those who invested in this were what? They crowdsourced it, right? They crowdsourced. Of course, it was within a controlled environment. So 70, how many people? 78 or 80? And then of that number, 76 total investors, okay? They said 70 what percent of them were individuals, while the others were institutional. So there are institutions like, an institution can decide that they are testing things, they are researching things, they're not buying it for commercial value or purpose, right? So they're just buying stuff they're just trying to see. They're testing because they're going to eventually move everything. So you see, Solana can tokenize, Avalanche can tokenize, right? Now, but who can really tokenize financial assets? Because what you are seeing is the government is the one tokenizing pieces of real estate, tokenizing the title on chain. You can't tokenize a mortgage, right, on a blockchain, a 30-year mortgage, 40-year, 20-year mortgage on a blockchain, a car loan on a blockchain, if it's not ISO 222. This is why the XRP ledger and the ISO ones, all right, all of the other ones that we know to be ISO 222 that will work with the financial industry, the tokenization coming there is going to be massive. XPR, ooh, it's going to be massive. Because you're tokenizing, it's not just the value going across, it's what's sitting on the value. If you ever had the opportunity to look at the XRP calculator, I have it on my Patreon as well, the XRP calculator. If you've ever seen that thing and how it works, I no longer have access to it, but if I created a video based on it, you will see that there's a portion, a line item on the calculator that provides for tokenization, for holding value. So let me share this with you, and then I'll call it a close after that. So here's the thing, okay? I want you to imagine a 300-acre piece of property. Each acre is worth $1,000. That is 300,000. So you could buy the whole thing for 300,000. Then one day the developer comes in and says, I want to buy this land. The interest from the developer will cause that 300 acre to be jacked up. What do you want to do with it? Oh, wow. All right. In that case, I'm going to sell it to you for 2,000 per acre. The farmer is like, oh, that's all right. Then the developer now comes, he goes to zoning, does everything like that. Each acre is now divided in several lots for like 5 houses. And each lot goes up to $100,000 because of the kind of, community that is planned. When you put a house on each of those acreages, several houses on each, think about it. There's 300 acres, 5 houses on each acre. There'll be 1,500 homes. Am I correct? No, not 1,500. Sorry, that's 300 times 5. Yeah, I think so. Do you see where I'm going with this? Each of those homes under that land, the value appreciates. You're not looking at 300,000 or 3 million anymore. It's multi-million. Think about blockchain holding tokenized assets, whatever they may be, whether in real estate, in shipping, in the airline industry, ticketing, whatever. Anything that has value can be tokenized and to sit on the ledger with a value. And there are those that can exit the ledger, and because of interoperability, you can move from one to the other. You can move value. Bridging, which is what it is today, because there's certain ones that don't talk together, but all of that will change as they become interoperable. Just like email was, just like cell phone was. We've been saying this over and over. So that's where things are going. So when you look at that empty tract of land that now becomes multi-million dollars because of what was built on it, think of what will be built and sitting on the ledger for years and years and years and years. Some assets will exchange hands on the ledger and not leave. Others will have to leave and go elsewhere. That's what I'm just thinking, right? Because you've got all these things working together, but then there's also value moving across on a daily basis. And we're looking at 1 quadrillion in a year with Swift alone, not even to talk of all of the other organizations and agencies that move financial value across blockchain globally, and now would be across blockchain technology. So, hey, Eduardo Cabon, how you doing, sir? God bless you. Good to see you on here. All right, I think Sally asked the question. Let me see. What's the best exchange for flexibility in limit orders? Coinbase won't let you set a higher sell limit order. You have to get out of those public exchanges as the only means, okay? You can set limit orders on Inch. You can set limit orders on PancakeSwap. You can set limit orders on, I think, Uniswap. I don't use Uniswap at all, but I mean, so there's other places where you can. I would want to use DeFi as much as possible because see what happened last year. They was it last year? KuCoin went and just they canceled limit orders that people have set. Why would they do a thing like that? Kraken, I think, is great too. Crypto.com, not bad. But I'm saying, while you're the concern I have with the centralized exchanges, CEXs, is that if you catch a limit order, right, going down, see Bitcoin dropped one day. Remember, but 24,000. It was a few seconds and it came back up. If you had set a buy limit order for Bitcoin, right, and you put $1,000 in there, you would have gotten like a portion of Bitcoin that's $1,000 worth. And when it goes like of the 24,000, you would have gotten so much, right? Like what would have been 5%, maybe 4%, right? And then 4 point something percent. Then it goes up to 80,000, goes back up to 80,000. You see right there, your 1,000 would have gone up by how many times? 3.5 times. So you have gone to, so if you put 5,000 in it, yeah. But now most people don't have that kind of resource. But assuming you put down $1 for one day, just put a $10 there, you want to catch 10 Bitcoin. And it happens that Bitcoin drops in 1 nanosecond. And you have a taker order that grabs your, not just any kind of order. You have to learn the different orders. And you have a taker order, boom, it holds everything. The taker order is like it's like how would I say? It's like the boss of orders, right? And it makes sure it grabs it. And not all exchanges can do this. Thank you, Ezekiel. I'm going to do that. Of course, I'm not stopping Bible studies. I just want to see how you guys feel about it. I notice that when I'm doing the Bible studies, I'm telling you, I can sense the room, the grace in the room. It's what I'm called to do. Okay, so Sally, I've shared. KuCoin is fine if you have access to it in your area. Crypto.com. I don't use it that much, but I have an account on Kraken. But learn more with the decentralized exchanges. With Zaman, you can connect to GitHub in Zaman, and you can actually set buy limit orders for Bitcoin on there as well. It's funny how this can happen, but I'm really, really excited about Zaman and the opportunities that are there, even as it continues to grow as a proprietary wallet for the XRP ledger. Daniel, don't tell me you sell everything. Sanjay predicted XRP will rise to $8 by 2026 in an April note, supported by improved US regulatory. Exactly. I think $10 is not even. Look, Chris, if you get $10 XRP, isn't that something? Isn't that something? Come on. Exactly. Chris says something here. He says the market needs time to mature. We're all way ahead of the curve. I like this one. I'm going to put it up here. I like every one of it, but I want you to read that. The market needs time to mature. We're all way ahead of the curve. Now, for those of you who have tried who have got onto Metal X, let me know if you have any questions. I intend to do a little bit more on Metal X. I think I covered everything with respect to even staking. You can stake for 30 days. You can stake for 1 year. You can stake for 5 years. There's a multiplier on the scale on the staking tool there that allows you to see what you can get in 30 days. I think it's beautiful, and as you're earning, you see your earning going, it's real time. You just see it going up, just like what you have on Flare assets as well. And let's start looking at how we can borrow off of our assets, and use it. Buy, borrow, insure, die, right? That's what the rich do, the wealthy. The $27 you expected, why, in your opinion, are we not there yet? What do you mean? What kind of question is that, Manuel? I expected it for myself and I shared it with you, right? I didn't say that it had to happen. That was my personal expectation. I did my own kind of thing. I said, all right, hopefully if this happens and we have, see, if all you are thinking about is for it to get to a certain price so you can sell and get out, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I want to, I don't know what your question is about, but let me try to answer it as I understand it. Okay. Personally, I didn't say, oh, it's going to get to $27. I said I was expecting $27 XRP. I really was expecting it. Based on my calculations, based on what I thought would happen, that there could be some adoption, and then it will just, again, we're not behind the scenes. We don't know what these people know. People say, oh, we're all guessing. No, this is not guessing. There's knowledge. You can actually read and see things, documents. The problem is people are not taking the time to do that. So they just, oh, you don't know nothing. No, some of us have done research, and I'm not talking at the level of somebody who doesn't know anything about what I've seen. So the only way I could be wrong is if those documents are fake. if those documents and the research I've done, if all the things I'm sure I was seeing, because it's not out in the open for everybody, you have to dig. As you dig and you find all this, you go, wow, wow, wow. And over the last 5 years, I've not been disappointed. Going into 6 years, I've not been disappointed. I've seen everything. Look at Ripple buying G Treasury. Do you know the purchase of G Treasury? Do you know right now, JP Morgan has already done something with Franklin Electric, which is a global organization. And just yesterday, a day before yesterday, JP Morgan is working with Franklin Electric to help them create a netting situation where they can balance accounts with their different branches worldwide. So let's say a branch in they're not in Nigeria, but let's say it's a branch in another country is owing a branch in this country an operation. They call them operations. Okay, the South American operation is being owed 2 billion by the so operation. Well, they can balance the account and they can move money around very easily with the netting provision that is provided for them with G Treasury. So they're creating these new and amazing products for these massive enterprises, which SBI has been enjoying, Japan has been enjoying, paying with XRP for years, using XRP for years. In East Africa and everywhere else, they have projects. And so what you are seeing is G Treasury. So when you see a piece of, like a report online in one of the papers that are financial papers, oh, you know what? JP Morgan just signed a deal with G Treasury and they're doing da 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 da. Those who didn't know the backstory to this time won't even know that G Treasury is completely owned by Ripple. And Ripple becomes a national trust bank for crypto. And how G Treasury is able to do what they're doing to make it possible to create a netting situation for the balancing of funds, which had been a problem. It was costly for them to do because it's like buying baby clothes. They're never on sale, right? So the banks know that, the companies also know, the businesses know, the organizations know that, you know what, this is where they're this is where they're dealing with us. This is where we're paying out so much to get these special services. We're global, yes, but why are we paying so much out? Now here comes a situation that resolves the problem. And don't forget, Brad Garlinghouse made a very public statement recently. If you didn't catch it, let me remind you. If you caught it, and if you didn't, let me tell you what it is. He said, everything, XRP is at the center of everything that we do. It's at the forefront or something. I forget the word he used. Daniel, do you remember exactly when he said that? He said, it's at the center of everything we do. So it's not there because all of the things that I thought would happen have not happened. I remember a video where I was at the mechanic and I gave you 4 things that I'm expecting in order to get XRP to that price, or less or over. If it was $13, I would have been happy. $10, I'm happy. But at the price it is today, I'm still happy because my joy does not depend on XRP. My joy is in Christ, right? I have a relationship with God. So he said, Zach R is disappointing, appears jealous. If people are negative about Jake and his predictions, they are not in XRP for the right reasons. I don't know who wants to see this. I'm going to put this up here. They're not in XRP for the right reasons. Do your own research. Know what you hold. Invest wisely, and then may God bless this person, Cole Hallis. This one wins the internet tonight. At least my little internet here with 50 people. Oh my God. Thank you, Cole, for that. Agreed, and Happy New Year. Yes, 4 quadrillion via DTCC. Watch nothing, Jay Claver says, will happen. Court documents show he admits to fraud. I'm not sure that. Yeah, I saw that. Did you see the court documents? I saw that there was a case in court, but yes, Juke joined. There's no $100 XRP. So what? It doesn't matter to me. Like, I mean, like, I'm not. I don't. I don't do anything with Jay Claver other than that. I've learned a lot from him. But he made a prediction, and there's a bet on the prediction. So what? He made a bet. He lost the bet. Then his $20,000 goes. He's got a bet, $20,000 bet on it. He's betting his entire reputation on this. You think he's stupid to do that? I believe that the people who are earning whatever they are earning. See, Linkto collapsed. You remember Linkto? Run by two people. It collapsed. So here, invest wisely. Don't somebody's prediction doesn't come true. How does that affect you if you know what you are doing? That's why I said get into DeFi. Start making money from DeFi. I showed you where Claver is in DAG protocol. I showed you his company, Digital Ascension. They're there. Why aren't you there? DAG is now how much? How much is DAG, guys? Check the price. Like some of you have a lot of money. You can do this. If you put $10,000 in DAG, do you know how much that is? How many DAG that is? And that gets to $2.50. My God, you are singing to the bank. So, and the crypto is not a scam. DAG has signed contracts with the Constellation, with the Air Force. Come on. Hey, Milo, how you doing? God bless you. Bank of America uses XRP for years for internal transactions. Oh, of course. Blessings all. Simply Sonia, how you doing? Pastor, what are your thoughts on the Canton network? I really don't know much about the Canton network. I'm not sure. Sorry. Thank you. We all need to be happy with whatever the prize the Lord gives to us. Humble yourself, people. Exactly. I think I was meeting with a gentleman today who came into the city. He's one of the subscribers here, and he wanted to meet for lunch. And he told me that when next time he'll be in the city, he'll reach out to me. He lives like 6 hours away. So he came and we had lunch. And I was telling him, I said, God is working on our hearts to prepare us for what he's prepared for us. The most important thing right now is that our hearts are prepared, you know? Yes, Delhi. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for joining. There you go. So DAG is like a cent, like it's a penny, man, a penny and a tenth. So if I were you, I would just say, okay, let's see if we put. Some of you have the funds, man, like the money you are keeping there and thinking, oh, when I'm 95, I'll get $800,000. Come on, like let's even try $5,000. What does it give us? You will have 454,000 DAG. Okay, and if you get 12% back over the next 1 year, it'll be 54,000. Just a 5,000 investment will give you 54,000 DAG back in the protocol I just showed you. So yes, if you want to sell your XRP, I didn't tell you to sell your XRP. Somebody's asking a question here. Should I sell all my XRP now? If you want to, that's your own lookout. What a question. The Claver show about to get real. No, he's going to be there. He's got a strong following. The people believe some of the people have already put their XRP on there. They're not complaining. There are people with 200,000 XRP. They already have like 100,000, 200,000 with Claver. He has a lot of money under management. I can't remember what his amount under management is. He's successful. So you guys are talking as if you don't remember that guy who's always predicting and things go sideways or bottom. What's his name on CNBC? What's that guy on CNBC? Almas plus Maria. Yes, I agree with you. So Davis Legaspi, I'm not sure what you want to do, but I'm not selling my XRP. I'm instead looking for money to buy more. So this is my second live today, but it's been great. I didn't plan to come on, but I sat here thinking to myself, I'm going to do a live early in the year. Yeah, Jim Cramer. You guys, yeah, Jim Cramer. So if Jim Cramer has had a job for all these years, like, come on. Yeah. So Claver, like, I don't know. Yes, his family office, like, the guy is very successful. And with his mastermind, he has taught a lot of people things, right? So there's a lot of people, they don't want to do anything. So his firm, I just searched, has grown to manage over $300 million in digital assets. So think about it. That a 10x on what he's managing takes him to what? $3 billion. So he got the people to come in. If it's a fraud, they will eventually, he'll eventually destroy himself. But the point I'm making is that our trust should not be so much in one person and his prediction. And when it doesn't come to pass, where it's like, oh, what am I going to do now? Oh, what did you learn? How did you build yourself in the crypto space? How much have like what is your are you making money with your crypto that you have right now, or you're just waiting for that $100 of Claver, and when it doesn't happen, it's like, man, you have all your underwear in a wad. Are you like that? Or you're like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn this thing, like AH for Truth is saying. I'm gonna learn how I just showed you something that if you have 500,000 of DAG right now, you can get 10 to 13% back in a year, which is just increasing your wealth. And if that gets to $2, there you go. I've given information to people who have gone and used it, and they have invested, and they are making buck right now. So even 45,000 DAG, what would that give you at $2.86? It's $156,000 that you earned because you chose to invest $5,000. Where will you get that? And there are people here watching me, listening to me, who have $5,000 who can put in there because you are old enough. You have put money away over the years. You have $500,000 and you are afraid to scratch the surface. 10,000 out of the $500,000 will not kill you, but it will set you and your generations ahead. You know, as we get older, we have to have solid support in the world that we live today. You are old and you want to eat an apple, and an apple costs now $10 for one. Come on. Hyperinflation, all those things are coming. That's the reality of the world that we live in, because as God, this fight between good and evil will continue. But you want to be prepared financially. And one of the ways out right now is to invest in this particular arena. And do your research, please. Don't just jump at what I'm saying. Do your research. XRP is not the only one, but it is going to be the king of cryptos, particularly the ISO 222 crypto. What Bitcoin is doing now, leading the market, that's what it'll be. But in this case, it'll be a stable coin at a high price. People have said to me, they argue all the time. Even yesterday, somebody said, it doesn't be at a high value to work. I didn't say it won't work. I'm just saying, I mean, at a low value. Right now, you can send money through XRP. It will work perfectly. 4 seconds is there. But when you begin to deal with 140 trillion moving per year, you know how much that is per day? The price has to adjust. And I tell you, this is all math. In order for it to deliver the 4 seconds, the velocity of money, all of those things have been calculated. So it has to be at a high price to keep doing it at 4 seconds. That's one thing. You don't want to clog the system. You don't want a proof of concept. I'm sorry, proof of work, where it's like 3 or 5 men trying to run through one man door. It will become a survival of the fittest. No, this is a system that, the distributed ledger technology with XRP ledger is different. It solves all the problems that Bitcoin had. I like what you said, Delhi. Yes, I mean, that's the thing. You are correct about idolizing, and people are so used to that. It's like, oh, Jay Claver. I remember somebody coming on here, and for an hour I was on live, and all he was talking about, what if Jay Claver's prediction comes true? Where do you think you would be? Would it be amazing for you to shake Jay Claver's hand one day? And I just said to myself, man, this must be an unstable individual. How can you talk about one person like this on my own live? I'm not as big as Jay Claver. I'm not trying to be anything more than what God has given me. I have a role here, and that is to intertwine this Christian faith, the scriptures, with what's unfolding in the world, whether it be the crypto, the US government, and all that, in a simple way for people to understand, to break things down. And that's what I've been, and I think I've been a little bit successful at that. Recently, I saw that I was adding some new subscribers. I'm thanking God for that. Hopefully, as we enter the new year, we can grow. But more than that is that I can grow my Patreon to a point where I have a group of people, we're working together, growing together, and stuff like that. I want to see people's lives change. Yeah, you can research it. It's called DAG. It's called Constellation DAG. All right. It's coming, Thompson. I'm expecting a move in January. Yeah. Chris, I think what we should do is just say, you know what? I'll put the main net on here for you guys. Hold on. So this is the website, but you need the mainnet for doing any sort of DeFi. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. There's really nothing. It's just, you know, you learn it once it, and just make sure you're going back there to review and know exactly how to do things. You've got to delegate and stake, delegate type of thing. So yeah. Okay, good. All right. So there you go. So that those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. You claim I showed you also the Proton network, the XRP network. These are the two DeFi's that I've done so far on my Patreon, as well as giving you um, the Zaman wallet. I've been talking about Zaman wallet since last year, but now there's way more features. As I began to venture into DeFi, and I felt that it was time for me to share it with the public, um, I began to say it as it is. You could set limit orders on Zaman wallet as well. It is. It is silent and it's going to be amazing. So please research these things. And you know, like I said, I just gave you I think you can only say he's a scammer when he doesn't deliver what he said he's delivering to the people who are putting 300 million in his hands right now. The guy has a amount under management 300 million. So he's probably giving something to people who are there. I know somebody who's on my channel, like there's 2 or 3 of people who are already getting money back for their XRP as we speak. So you can't just throw out the word scammer. He made a prediction, just like Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer will say, "Oh, so do you call Jim Cramer a scammer?" So I'll be very careful the words I use to describe someone, because people have learned a lot from him in the space. Everything is not about prediction, right or wrong. You can miss a prediction. People have prophesied. Look at what is happening. Some of the prophets who prophesied about Trump coming back a second time were called false prophets. The guy got a second term, not on their own time, in God's time. So Jacob Noble. Yeah, if whatever it drops to, it's not an issue. Bitcoin, what do you bet Bitcoin will drop to? What's Bitcoin's price today? Like, you guys are just XRP dropping this and that. It's just sad because I'm wondering why you are not talking about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin actually is you know what I mean? Like, Bitcoin is at 87. Like, if you look at the market, like, people put they put these laughing emojis with tears, rolling emojis with tears, and say, "Oh, look at XRP is at one," but Bitcoin is down too. It's down. It is going following that trajectory. Um, no. Get out of Trust Wallet. Don't leave anything there, please. So much stealing going on there. Buy, get out of there. Get your DAG off of KuCoin. Go on Coin Market Cap. You'll see where you can get all your DAG. Okay. So Constellation, look, I mean, it's just dropped so badly. You know, you can get it on Gate, on KuCoin, and Mexi, Bing X, Kraken. Yeah, like, go on Kraken. Try to get it on Kraken. I met Jake in person a couple of months ago. He seems to be very genuine and sincere. I think so myself. Like, I mean, BNB. There you go. People keep walking by sight and not by faith. That's called deception. Exactly. Everybody in this space make I know. Oh, Etola. Yeah. So Kryptonite just dropped a message, and I'm going to read it to you because we've been talking about this, and this is a word the Lord gave him. Maybe this will be a blessing to you guys. It says, "Happy New Year 2026 will be a year for us having not to prove anymore, but becoming the proof in Jesus' name." See, that's what I'm saying here. We don't have to prove anything; we become the proof. And yeah, so um, I wouldn't just call Jake a scammer. I'll just say that he made a prediction and he's got a bet. Scammers don't bet $20,000. Okay. Exactly. Oh, okay, Jacob. Jacob, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, he says Jacob says, let me just put it up here. Jacob says, I believe in the coin. I was just saying I think it'll be driven down some more before it takes off. And I have nothing against Jake. He only made wonderful. That's the spirit, man. Like people just so I think that people are expecting so much that they're gonna make all this money. If you've been in the investment space, Chris, I'm sure you've been investing in stock and things for years. We are at a precipice of something that can give us returns in the shortest possible time. We've known if you've ever owned a home, it takes 10 years to start reaping rewards. If you've ever signed a mortgage, except if you are flipping property, in most cases that I'm aware of, it takes time. Come on, people. Yeah, it takes time. So if you are or if you started using the Metal X platform, if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Oh yes, wealth takes time. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. 2026 will be, in my what I've received from the Lord personally, a year of open doors. Um, Paul says to the Corinthian, he was writing, his Corinthian church, he said, "A great door and an effectual has been opened unto me." He says, "There are many adversaries." All right. So it's one thing for doors to be open. I think we're going to see open doors in this coming year as we transition into 2026, but it's going to be um the battle is not getting it. You now know how to get it. It's keeping it. It's keeping it. And the battle, in my opinion, is a three-part battle. The first battle is you as an individual, how you, or maybe four parts. You as an individual, your relationship with God, and how you have learned to grow and discipline yourself. If you can't give God $1,000 out of 10 now, you can't give him 10,000 if he asks for it, and that's all you have in your account. And God says, "Go give me all that," and you wrestle with it until he leaves you alone. I don't see you giving God 5,000 out of 500,000. You won't do it. Okay, that's number one. Yourself. Number two, and there's so much we can say about yourself. Number two, where the battle will be is the enemy. Satan comes against people who have wealth in the kingdom because he doesn't want you to use it for God. He will whisper all kind of lies to you, just like he did in Genesis chapter 3. Did God say you should not eat of this fruit, or the fruit of this tree? Did God say? So there will be many did God says, and that's why you have to sharpen your hearing and be a man and woman of the scripture. because when you read the scripture, it'll strengthen you. It'll, firm your feet on solid ground. Okay, give you firm feet on solid ground. Take your feet out of merry clay and put it on the rock. It's like building your house, building your project, building your ideology upon the rock. Winds and storms will come, but they beat against the house. The foundation is strong, it won't fall. So the enemy will not have victory. The Bible said the enemy, in the book of Psalms 86, said the enemy will not exact upon him. He said, I've anointed him with oil, and the enemy will not cheat you. That's what it means. He won't have an advantage over you. Let Satan get an advantage over us. Hallelujah. Then number 3 is the government, because you got to be watchful. For those of you in the States, the IRS, and those in Canada, the revenue agency. Here in Canada, if you transfer your assets into a trust or a limited liability company, it doesn't matter what the value is at the time you transfer it. You don't pay no taxes. You only pay taxes when it becomes taxable in your hand if you sell. All right. So that's different than the US. You have to put it in as soon as you can. Otherwise, when it increases in value and you now want to move it, you have to tax it. They have to, IRS would, they don't play with their money. Hopefully, Trump would be able to say to you guys, no, you don't have to pay any taxes. If it's the first move, no problem. Later on, all right. So I think there will be some kind of amnesty with respect to taxes under Trump going forward. I think there'll be a lot of surprises just because people do not understand the system. See, the American system is so complicated. The corruption is so rotten, just like here, that it'll take time everything has to come out to where people are like, oh, somebody save us now. Then you will see a mass arrest take place like you've never seen in that country. I've shared that with you as a prophetic word. So besides government coming after people who may have gotten, like, if you get a low limit order that goes through and you move it quickly before you got Bitcoin at, say, a flash crash in 2 seconds, and you're able to get it for $1, they will come after you, right? Kryptonite calls it digital pharaohs. Blessings, man of God. Happy New Year to you, Pastor Ojua. Welcome, Pastor Ojua, my friends. So this is where I believe that we have to be very careful, okay? So just make sure you are following your stuff with respect to what you are making and taxes. You can use the Koinly or one other software. My life, you shared one software with us also that I think you could share with everybody else for following your trades. So they are going to use AI to look at the blockchain and track everybody. You have your KYC, so they know you. So the only way you can successfully keep things quiet is if you use a zero knowledge proof protocol to move your assets when you get them with a in the case of a low limit order. So that's number 3. Number 4, what else did I want to say? Yeah, I've talked about all those things: your relationship with God, Satan coming against you, the government, and third parties. Some of us, maybe you're not ready, but you want to be ready. You want God to prepare you. You don't want to lose your marriage because now you are worth $10 million. You don't want to lose your children because you have all this. No. You want to be ready. Okay. And so third parties, your family, and then third parties. You have to watch those are together. Family and third party. Actually, family, then we say third parties. You have to make sure that your family comes first after God, right? So you have to make sure that they are adequately taken care of. You're either researching trusts and so on and so forth, or limited liability companies. Yeah, and then what else? So that's about it. We should prepare ourselves. But I will say this: 2026, I believe that we're going to see a spike up in crypto, and then we're also going to see a crash. I think the two will be side by side. So that's what I believe. That's what I see. That's what I've been shown. Sometimes when we're shown things, our job is to pray, so that if there's anything bad, we can reverse it by pleading for God's mercy. You don't want people who have been stacking since 2016, 2017 to lose their assets because of a crazy blitz. You don't want that, right? So, okay, taxation is theft. I agree with you. Battle with the enemy. With the government. You as an individual. Thank you, Chris. This is great. Chris is always good at taking these notes. Well, I didn't expect to have this many people in the room tonight, but Pastor Ojua, what do you see for next year? You want to share it with us? God bless you. Somebody asked when I'm having a live with you. I'm like, okay, we'll see what God brings in the new year. Battle with third parties. Yeah, with the family. Thank you so much for writing out those things. Okay, well, Happy New Year to everyone. My life, Happy New Year to you. Daniel, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Pastor Ojua. Happy New Year, Thompson. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Sally. Happy New Year, Tommy. Who else am I missing? My life, Chris. Oh, Lord. Letola, Mokeshi, Jacob Noble. Happy New Year. Yeah, my life. Who else is there? Delhi, Happy New Year. Massey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all. Obsidian, Happy New Year. Mail of 99, Happy New Year. Well, God bless you all. I'll see you in the new year a couple of hours from now. All right. Bye-bye.